How's it going, NPC Nation? Welcome back to a brand new video. This video is going to be called What If Sly 2 Band of Thieves Ended Differently. First off, some background story. First off, spoilers if you have not played any Sly games. I'm making this video because I really love all 4 Sly games. I played all 4 Sly Cooper games and I love them all. Back to the video in hand. So here is some background information of Sly 2. You gotta start with Sly 1. Sly 1 starts with Sly bouncing on his father's knee. As a kid, 5 intruders come in called the Fiendish Five, take out his father and mother. Sly hides, and they take the book that his family's kept for generations, because first off, Sly comes from a family of thieves. He's a raccoon, thieves. Makes sense. But he comes from a long line of thieves. So they take the book called the Thievius Raccoonus. That's what the first game is called. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. And they take it and split it and go their separate ways. They are called the Fiendish Five. The members are Sir Raleigh, Miss Ruby, Mugshot, Panda King, and Clockwork, the leader. So Sly goes into an orphanage, meets his best friends Bentley and Murray. If you hear any dog noises, my dog likes to snore. Bentley in the background. Back to the video. So he meets Bentley and Murray in this orphanage. After he meets his best friends in this orphanage, they go and make a plan to steal the cookies. So they steal the orphanage cookies. Bentley, who is the brains of the operation of the Cooper gang, and then you have Murray the Brawn. So after they take the cookies, they grow up a little bit, then Sly decides to get revenge on the Fiendish Five. After defeating all 5 members and getting the book back, Clockwork, who has taken out all of his members, who has been immortal for all these years because of hate of the Cooper gang, of the Cooper family line, he finally gets defeated by Sly, we all think. His robotic parts fall into the lava, into the volcano, and we all think it's over. No, it's not. His parts do not burn up all the way, because the hate chip is still intact. So, that's how Sly 2 starts. All of his parts get gathered up, put into a museum, and then they get taken by a gang called the Claw Gang. This is how Sly 2 starts. So Sly 2 starts with all the members of the Claw Gang taking their share of the parts. In case your name is John Bisson, where you get freaking 4 parts, or if your name is John, you get 3. This dude got 2, actually, because he kind of was 1 part. The wings and the Clockwork Heart. And John Bisson got the lungs, the stomach, and the talons. Those are 3 separate parts. This dude, I don't know why he's from the 1800s, but you defeat, after Sly defeat, the goal is to get all the Clockwork parts. So you think he does. He gets all the Clockwork parts until he gets to John Bisson's bus. Till you get to John Bisson's area. So he defeated all the other members, took all their Clockwork parts, gets to John Bisson. He participates in the Lumberjack games, which is what John Bisson puts the talons up for. He finds out that they took all Sly, Bentley, Murray took the places of the judge, knocks them out, and then finds their hideout. Steals all the Clockwork parts and sells them Arpeggio. That's basically how Sly 2 basically ends. You Arpeggio, and you find out Neela is part of the Claw Gang. She was a cop the whole time. No, she was part of the Claw Gang. And I said spoiler alert before this video started, so. Then Neela betrays Arpeggio. Takes the clock. You think pulling the reducers apart will pull the Clockwork parts apart. No, it makes him come back to life. Well, he's not alive. He's not alive. The bird, the robotic parts are functional. Like I said in the first game, Clockwork, you defeated him. He's gone. The parts are still intact. So she puts herself into the frame of the Clockwork and forms Clockla. So you go on, you do all the missions that they tell you to do, defeat all the engine rooms because that's how she draws her power. Then you go fight her. So you fight Clockla and you defeat her. Take out the hate chip. It's over. But let's go to what if. What if Arpeggio never got all the Clockwork parts except his brain? Because he originally only had the brain. Zombie-san can keep his 4 parts, and you actually defeat Zombie-san, and he doesn't find your... You beat him in the Lumberjack games, and he doesn't find your hideout. You beat him fair and square in the boss fight. He still knocks you out, though. He still knocks out all 3 members of the Creeper gang, but you still beat him. He's dumb enough not to find your hideout. Well, let's go to what if. So Zombie-san, you fight him and you beat him. Well, Bentley fights him. Sly doesn't fight him. Bentley fights Zombie-san in a sawmill. That's where he puts you guys in a lumber mill, or that's where he captures you guys. You defeat him. Arpeggio's here to pick up Northern Light battery, so he can do the evil hypnosis spice show, because that's what they all were planning to do. Hypnotize everyone in Paris, because it was the first episode. That's what they call it. Episode was in Paris, and that's where they were heading back to. So you defeat Zombie-san, but he doesn't sell all the Clockwork parts to Arpeggio. But Arpeggio still has a plan to hypnotize everyone in Paris. And Arpeggio does not get taken care of doesn't get betrayed and taken care of by Neela. Neela, crushes him with the Clockwork. Let's say he doesn't. Let's say she doesn't do that, because they don't have all the parts. They don't have the brain. Arpeggio is the final boss. You could get a final boss fight with Arpeggio like this. It can be using hypnosis. He can be a great final boss. He can use his machines. He can use a lot of things. Sly keeps all the Clockwork parts for himself. He still has all the Clockwork parts because they wasn't sold to Arpeggio. So Arpeggio just has the brain. The goal is to get the brain and stop the blimp from going to Paris. Neela is betrayed and kicked off the blimp, so she's taken care of by Arpeggio. He finds out about her trying to betray him. He found out through a source, a spy or something. He gets rid of her, throws her off the blimp, and she's done. She's done for. So it's just Arpeggio and Sly at the end of the game. You still have to take out the engines, so the hypno light show above Paris doesn't work. So you take out all the engines still, but the final boss is for one Clockwork part, and that's the Clockwork brain that Arpeggio originally had. You versus Arpeggio in an epic battle of wits. In an epic, he tries first to buy the Clockwork parts off of you, and you refuse. They can put that into the game where you refuse to do that. You make the final decision, and you fight. You fight on the blimp that is falling apart and on fire because there's no engines. All the engine rooms are taken care of, so there's no blimp. You fight Arpeggio, you defeat him, you take the Clockwork brain, and you get rid of all the parts. That's how What If Sly 2 ended differently. The ending's still good, that you did all this for nothing. At the end, Arpeggio still wins. At the end, you still win anyways. But I would like to see an Arpeggio boss fight. That's what I always wanted to see, because he was the mad man that had all the parts at the end. That would have been cool. I still love the ending of Sly 2 where you defeat Clockwork again, but this time it's Clockla. I still love that ending. It's still good. But Arpeggio ending would be you fight Arpeggio for the brain. He tries to bite off you first, you refuse, then you have an epic fight because he has a robot suit. His thing that helps him walk. He has that. So he can help you fight with that. He has battles on that. And you're having a battle on the blimp. It's starting to fall. Instead of, just still floating there. There's no autopilot. It's starting to fall out of the sky. But that's what if Sly 2 Band of Thieves ended differently. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, press the share button, press the like button, press the red shiny subscribe button, press the bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'll see you guys next video. Goodbye.